So guys, welcome to today's video. Coming up at the end of the month is 8 years of You&Me, our party and label. And to celebrate the occasion, we are doing a party at the Love Factory, which you can see just behind me, but we'll be using an outdoor space, which is just to my left. And we have taken some questions from you guys on Instagram about our journey, and we'll be answering them for you today. Okay, so the first question we've got, Kurt, is, did you ever think the brand wouldn't succeed?
Deep down I knew it was always going to succeed, but you do have your doubts, especially in this industry with the ups and downs that you face. But deep down I knew it was always going to work.
Yeah, and a quote I've been saying to myself a lot recently is, when it gets tough, this is the point in which most people quit. And if you can keep going through that point, that's how you succeed. I think most of the problem is they just don't do it long enough. And I think, yeah, only the strong survive in the end.
That phrase for us couldn't be more true. There's been many times where we felt that we're at breaking point, but just continued, and that felt like the moment where we took the next step up when we got past that point.
So the next question is, in 10 years' time, where do you see the brand?
So in the past, I've always been thinking and looking forward towards where we might be in the future. But as of recently, maybe it's in the last year or so, as we feel like things have started going more our way and we can see the growth, I'm kind of just enjoying the journey. I think we will be more overseas in the more recognised clubs, doing bigger shows, bigger capacities, and that's kind of what the target and the aim is for the brand.
Yeah, if we had to think 10 years' time, if I was super specific, the dream outcome would be Ibiza residency, I would say, at one of the super clubs. I would also like to say our label is one of the leading in the underground music scene, and have me and the residents playing all over the world. But yeah, what Kurt said about the enjoying the moment now, we always have these conversations. And I saw another quote the other day, which was, sometimes you can delay gratification so far that you actually have no gratification. And it's trying to enjoy these good times, as when you look back, the hardest times were actually the best moments. So yeah.
Well, people say you work towards the future, but the future never arrives. So it's about enjoying what you've got right now.
Enjoying the present. That was a deep one, but a good one. So what has been your favourite part of the journey so far?
Favourite part of the journey so far for me has been able to take the brand from Manchester to other cities, other countries. Like, for example, we've just been after Capacila, one of the best experiences or clubbing experiences I've ever had in my life. And that was with the brand that we've built in Manchester, to the point where we're actually able to travel now. And people outside of just Manchester are asking for the brand.
Yeah, I agree totally. For me, probably doing my first Josh Baker All Day Long, that was a super nerve-wracking moment, because I was given the reins by the guys to do something that was just me. Obviously, if it was empty, there is no one else you can blame but yourself, and we pulled it off and did Manchester, and we've done Fabric, and Fabric you couldn't even get in the room upstairs. So yeah, but the label as well, everything. There's too many moments to mention, but that's probably something that comes to mind. When did the idea to start You&Me first come around?
The idea to first start You&Me came around at a villa in Ibiza after watching Josh DJ for pretty much a month straight, never getting off the decks, and then realising that together we could do something special in Manchester with your skills behind the decks, your talent combined with our knowledge and experience as promoters. We could combine our talents and make something special.
Yeah, bang on. I really wanted an outlet to DJ. These guys wanted an outlet to showcase their skills in the underground music world and promoting. And yeah, very natural fusation, if that's even a word, occurred, but it sounds like that's the right kind of word. That's the right kind of word. It sounds like it. Fusation, that's what we're going with. So this is a great question, maybe my favourite one, and it's by Will Gibson. It's, which venue would you most like to host the event at in the future? We can clip this for when we host it at this event in the future.
Oh.
It's a big one, this, putting it out into the world, manifestation and all that, guys.
Well, saying that, after Capacila has just become my new favourite club, and we've just done that. So I can't say after Capacila, but I think for me it would be DC10.
Yeah, I think so too. I think Amnesia Terrace as well is a big bucket list gig for me. But yeah, I think between them, I won't be picky either.
I'd pick either of those.
Yeah.
Amnesia Terrace or DC10 Terrace.
Yeah, insane.
My favourite outside of Ibiza, you always tend to go to Ibiza first, but outside of Ibiza it would be Shelter in Amsterdam.
Yeah, Shelter.
Shelter's, for me, one of my favourite clubs.
Yeah. Top 3 sets from guests you've invited to You&Me over the years. It's a tough question to answer. There's been many.
Number 1 for me was Josh back-to-back Christie Cons. That was my favourite set to date out of all of them. I think second for me would be Dyad in Hidden.
I was going to say the same.
And
you know what? I'm going to throw a curveball, not really a curveball, but from the early days, when Archie Hamilton first played for us, that was an insane one. Like, he had Hidden. It was just as Archie was really starting to rise, and he came and, you know, showed everyone why he was about to blow up. So before we were rudely interrupted, we were coming round to our third favourite set from You&Me. So I went for Archie Hamilton in the early days. I think we booked him the second time in Manchester. He was playing loads of his own tracks, and, you know, I could have told you then. I think I probably told multiple people then he was going to blow up. So that was my third, and you?
Raresh, more recently. That was an education.
Yeah.
That was something that...
Skills, he's got skills.
Yeah, really, really good.
So Lee Fuller, he's asked, in the 8 years, what has been the best party? These are hard to answer because, like, everything's got its magic in its own right, but is there a clear winner? I don't think there's a clear winner, but...
There's not a clear winner, but the two I'd go back to, and I think that's because of the 2 sets that we've just named, would be the one recently at Victoria Warehouse with Sonia Mounier and you back-to-back Christie and Paddy.
Yeah.
And the Den party with Dyad Soundroom, but also the greenhouse parties. Every single greenhouse has its own magic. So
yeah, I think the early days were huge ones, and we had Enzo for the first time in Hidden, Apollonia, because at that time, when we're 2-3 years into the journey, every party, there was a chance that it could have been our last party, given the financial circumstances, whether we put on, you know, a flop of a party, I guess. So the adrenaline and thrills then, when they paid off, were through the roof. Whereas now, there's obviously a bit more guarantee each one's going to work, but...
Yeah, and the good thing now is it's that we've really found our feet as promoters and organisers, so everything, all the attention to details kind of fall into place a lot easier, whereas back then, it was a load of stress, a load of work, and you didn't know whether things were going to go wrong on the night. It was a bit all over the place. Now everything just runs smoothly.
So here we've got from Char Hain, top 3 tips for keeping on top of juggling multiple plates.
It's just about being realistic with yourself and not asking too much of yourself. Be realistic with the amount of weight that you put on your own shoulders, and things will be fine.
I'll give the answer, but I don't follow it myself. Number 1, use a calendar and try and block out your time in a calendar, and you'll soon realise if the way you're spending your time aligns with your desired outcomes. For example, if you're trying to grow a YouTube channel and you block all your time off for the week and you've not got any time to make one video, then YouTube should be quite low on your priority list. And another one is to figure out what the end point is and try and work backwards as well. So if the end point is, for example, for You&Me to become the biggest night in the world within a year, then our times would need to reflect that. Whereas, you know, if the time horizon is longer for something, you can give yourself more time. But the number 1 tip for me is use a calendar and make sure that the end points of where you want to go are dissected into your week in a way which corresponds with your desired outcome.
These things are easier said than done.
Easier said than done,
You
but
just get sucked into the void.
you get sucked into the void, but Cal Newport Deep Work, good book for this kind of stuff. But yeah, the 3 tips, I couldn't really give 3 specific ones, just live by calendar. So Lee Fuller's asked one for me, did Ibiza Casamiel in 2015 have an influence on your career in any way? I mean, massively, because if I didn't go there, we wouldn't have started You&Me. I mean, if it's specifically the way I DJ, I reckon I learned a lot about keeping a party alive, seeing as parties were going for over 24 hours. And
I would say that's where you really learn, starting to begin your craft.
Yeah, just feeling comfortable about playing I'm really comfortable in taking risks and playing pretty wild music sometimes, even though it may look like I just play quite underground stuff. People who have seen me play, I always play at least one kind of classic/vocal tune, and I would consider myself a party DJ, and I think them early days in Ibiza allowed me to, I wouldn't say master, far from master, but start to begin mastering my craft in the old of DJing thing, so yeah. So some questions that we received regarding the party at the end of this month. The first one is, what made you book Quest and Christian AB?
Well, they've got a very unique sound to start with. I don't know really anyone who plays a similar sound to them. They've got it's very specific to them too. And even the way they play separately and when they come together is even different when they're playing without each other. But other than that, the set of Hide and Seek was just insane. I think everyone's, after they played for us in 2022 in Fantasia, everyone was speaking about that set. All the videos went viral, people asking for tunes and IDs, and it's just, it makes you want to bring them back.
Yeah, Relentless Diggers, I really respect them as artists, and they seem to be doing something really unique in the scene right now, so I couldn't be happier to be bringing them to our party at the end of this month. So the next question we've got is, what made you choose the Love Factory? That is the venue we are at currently, and we'll be using that for the party at the end of this month.
Well, we're always looking for new spaces to give people new experiences at the party. It's kind of one of the things we put at the forefront when we're starting to plan an event. It's, is there any new venues out there which we haven't used yet? And the Love Factory is bang in the centre of town, cool urban location, got multiple different outdoor areas which we could choose from. And yeah, it's really accessible from train stations, literally 2 minutes away. You can walk here from town, just trying to, you make it easy for people to get here.
Yeah, I think for the party itself, when we started trying to focus on this, new experiences each time, it really allowed us to grow, and he is the king of finding a good spot. So yeah, for us, it's a big part of our experience that there'll always be somewhere new for you guys to come and party.
And just over there is where the dance floor will be. It's under a nice chino stretch tent, so covered from the rain if we get any bad weather, which hopefully we won't with it being August bank holiday. But it's also got
rain, shine, snow, but it's going to be sunny, so.
Yeah.
So one of the final questions we've got is, what is your dream booking at You&Me?
If it was one person, it would be Luciano. If it was a back-to-back, it would be Jamie Jones back-to-back Luciano.
Yeah, I think for me, I would go, I mean, Corolla will be cool. They'll all be cool, you know, them guys. Capriati, Corolla, Jamie Jones. I think Jamie Jones is a British artist, and Jamie Jones being Jamie Jones, I think he would be the top. Again, Luciano, Ricardo, anyone like that, hopefully one day we will welcome them to You&Me, and Hide and Seek as well.
Luciano, back-to-back Ricardo.
Yeah, there's anyone on that tier, we've got huge respect for them guys, and it'll be an honour to invite them. So if you're watching, get in touch.
And it'll happen one day.
It'll happen. And we'll clip this, and it'll be like the Conor McGregor stuff when they go back to his old shit and it all comes true.
It's going to happen.
So the next question we've got is, who is your biggest inspiration in the scene? So for me, from what he's built and continuing to build, and as an artist, as a leader, etc., I would say Enzo Siragusa. I think, you know, Fuse each year goes from strength to strength, and I'll be playing there for them this October. So that was a huge bucket list moment for me, and when Kurt sent that through to me, I think we both couldn't believe our eyes. So yeah, I would go with Enzo on that one.
Yeah, I'd agree. Even from when we met him and booked him, went for dinner beforehand, there was a lot of knowledge bombs we took away from him. Things that he said during that.
Just little lines that it doesn't seem like much at the time, but then when you reflect back, they had a big impact. Such as
you know they were good because you've held on to them. We still speak about them to this day. So
yeah, for me with like production, he spoke about just a thing called overdubbing, where you kind of add sounds throughout the track, etc. So it's not so linear and structured and perfect, and that actually helped me a lot because my tunes were good at the time, but I couldn't quite figure out what the next unlock was. And yeah, that's stayed with me since. It's something I passed down to other producers. So big up Enzo. So guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. Do not forget to like, comment, subscribe. Tell us what you want to record next, as if I can get Kurt in on more YouTube videos, then we're gonna go viral. So yeah, thank you for watching. Peace.